Hi, and welcome to this episode of AdTastic. I'm your host, Tony Stanall, and today we're speaking with Jacqui Gibson-Clark, the CEO of Job Portraits. Welcome, Jacqui.
Hi, Tony.
So you are in New Orleans. You're a former advertising executive, and you're into something a little bit different right now. Tell us a little about your journey and what you're doing with Job Portraits these days.
Mhm. That's correct. I sort of grew up in advertising agencies and really enjoyed doing that. One of the things that I loved about working in advertising over the last 20 or so years is getting to learn everybody's business, why people do what they do, how they do it, what is important about it for people to know. Um, and I stumbled upon this company, Job Portraits, and I thought it was so interesting to think about work and the work that people do and how that contributes to what offerings a company has. And I started to learn a lot about the space that Job Portraits was operating in, which is mostly tech. And so, what you have in tech is that there's a lot of companies that look sort of similar, have a similar business model, need some of the same people, have some of the same offerings, but uh, they're recruiting from the same space. So candidates need a way to differentiate what company is a best fit. And it turns out, particularly in the startup space, though I would say this is true for everyone, that
Mhm.
um, it's expensive to hire, and it's even more expensive to hire the wrong person. So investing in getting exactly the right people that are drawn to your mission is important. And so we think of ways for companies to understand what they actually have to offer candidates and employees, how to talk about that, and how to distribute that information and think about their audiences. And it's super interesting and a lot of fun.
Well, it does sound interesting. Give us an example, and feel free to brag here if you like. But give me an example of a case study or a success story you've had with a given business or a client.
Sure. I want to be thoughtful of my clients to not name too many names. But let's
Right.
say a tech firm
Okay.
is having a hard time. People know who they are, sort of. They don't necessarily know if they're good to work with. They have a lot of top of funnel activity because they have a brand, right? They have
Mhm.
a recognizable brand. People think of them, their consumer brand. So they have a lot of top of funnel activity, but they're having a hard time with turnover and attrition, and they're having a hard time understanding the people that are in their funnel. So one of the things that we can help them with is really understanding what their employer value proposition is. What is it that they actually have to offer, so that they can talk to the people in their funnel about what's great about working there. They can we will interview people. We will create stories and content that they can share with the people in their funnel. And I think even more importantly is we've started to do a lot of work thinking about our funnel. How do we treat an employment funnel like a marketing funnel? How do we apply our marketing thinking to hiring and make sure that people in our funnel are treated like leads, that they have, that we know what they're there for, right? We segment them. We think about what points of contact they've had already, what might be next for them, and give them content that suits that. And the other thing that we're doing is, once we have already been communicating to people in the funnel, we're trying to pull the employer brand through to the lived experience for employees, so that expectations are set and the brand really has an opportunity to come to life.
Great, and hopefully that results in better hires, and that certainly speaks to me as a an executive recruiter in my business. So thank you for sharing that, Jacqui.
You're welcome.
And thank you for joining us on this episode of AdTastic. You could find out more about Jacqui Gibson-Clark at dailyadbrief.com. We'll see you next time.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.